Imagine being stuck in a space station with a lot of people to pick off one by one. How do you do it? I'm Epokk from Indie Game Guides, and today we'll go over all the best things you can do to deceive and kill everyone in Among Us. Quick shout out to Backrow Not Smart aka Lucas in our Discord for helping you put together this guide and also our guide on how to survive Among Us as a crewmate that should pop up in the top right corner right about now. But now let's start talking about what you came for. You can never sabotage enough. They slow down the ability of the crewmates to complete their task, it creates chaos, and it can result in a win if nobody fixes it in time. So you should be sabotaging as often as possible. Sabotaging the light is one of my personal favorite as it reduces crewmates' vision to a tiny circle without impacting yours whatsoever. O2 and reactor sabotages can be advantageous because to fix it the crew must split up and insert a pin. That way they're easy to split up and stab someone in the back during the chaos. The communication sabotage are really not worth it because they're only used to deactivate security systems like the camera, the door locks, and the admin map, which can be circumvented by knowing the map, watching the cameras, and moving a lot around. Vents are your best friends if used properly. Now it allows you to easily move around on the map, but it has some huge risks. Now for example, if someone is watching the cameras or an admin map, they may see you exit rooms that you have never entered the normal way. Knowing your vent layouts and watching out for the security systems can help with this. If you don't know the entire layout of each map by heart, it may be worth having the map open on a second screen or on a piece of paper next to you. But don't forget, your kill cooldown will not go down while you're in a vent and you can't sabotage either. Perform false tasks to blend in, but be sure to try to avoid doing tasks that can give away that you're an imposter to the crewmates. Now completing certain tasks will show an animation, but only when performed by a crewmate. These are emptying the chute in storage, scanning yourself in medbay, gunning down the asteroids at weapons, and priming the shields. So don't do any of these tasks in front of a crewmate, because they're the most obvious giveaways. Any imposter can stab a crewmate, but getting away with it is where the difficulty lies. Now you can only report so many dead bodies before they put one on one together. So either by plain running or venting, get away from the body as quickly as possible, and ideally when the body is found you will want to have an alibi. The best way to get an alibi would be performing a task in the same room as someone else. That way you can vouch for him and he will vouch for you about your location when they find the corpse. If someone is accusing another crewmate for being the murderer, don't kill either of them. Now the more bodies that turn up, the higher the chances will be that the crewmates will focus their attention on that player instead of you. That way you can have an ideal scapegoat to get all the blame while you're going off killing everyone one by one. While in the game with more imposters, try protecting your imposter friends when someone blames them. Now you can do this by being their alibi or saying you saw them perform a visual task successfully. But don't overprotect them as this may give away both of you. Before we start talking about how to deceive them even better, I want to quickly mention that you can always hit me up on Twitter and also be sure to check out our Discord community in the description down below as it is steadily going to become a home for more than a few indie game enthusiasts. And if you want to have a vote on which indie game gets featured next, be sure to subscribe because we often organize open questions and do polls to decide which game gets a series of guides next. Now with that out of the way, let's move on. Try sticking with people, walk with them, let them do their tasks while you cover them, then let them follow you while you're doing your tanks, winky face. But if you get accused, they might be more inclined to defend you. Just imagine the moment that they find out that you're the imposter. It will be Kaiser Soze all over again. Self-reporting is what we call when you report a dead body of someone you just killed. Now getting caught with a dead body is a game over for you, so basically after each kill you have got a choice, either run away or report the body. Now early in the game I'd suggest you to run or to vent. Now at that time there's still a lot of possible suspects, so it's hard to know who did what. But if you report bodies early on, certain players are tempted to vote you out in case you self-reported. If they're right, an imposter is gone and otherwise there are plenty of crewmates left. Later on in the game you can report the bodies as they will be more doubtful as they don't want to reduce the ratio of crewmates to imposters further without certainty. When falsely accusing someone, don't accuse them for doing something specifically that only an imposter can do. Now, it's better to accuse them of being suspicious and acting weird around you and other people. But be careful with who you do this, because accusing someone who is proven to be innocent can come back to strike you later on. If you're constantly playing the same game with the same people round after round, you will get a sense of how the other generally plays. You will know who will be focusing on repairing the sabotages, doing the tasks, or finding out who the imposter is. This can be advantageous for you, but they will know your playstyle as well. They will know if you're loud during discussions, if you're the type to throw accusations around or not. If you were quiet the other rounds and when you're the imposter you're starting accusing everyone, that's quite a red flag. Be watchful of the security systems. Now, if you see the cameras blinking red, that means someone is watching security. Avoid acting suspicious in front cameras, and if you start venting into rooms whose sole entrance is being guarded by one of the cameras, they may deduce that you have vented into that room. So those were all the tips we could come up with. Now it's up to you. Do you have any more tips? Please share them in the comments down below and you may become the accomplice to a well-executed murder. And if you found this guide useful, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this one, consider subscribing. We publish at least 3 guides like this one every week, and we would love to get your input in our open questions and polls in the community page. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.